Hi everyone, welcome back to Listen Up with Simran and Isha, where we dive into real conversations about life, personal growth, and everything in between. Today, we have an exciting episode lined up for you, so turn up the volume and listen up. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Listen Up with Simran and Isha. And since we are closing in on the year and we're coming to the new year, if you are listening to our podcast, आपको पता है we are talking a lot about building your new era, talking about building that dream life for yourselves. हमने बहुत recently manifestation पर भी एक episode बनाया, which was like super fun to make.
Oh yes.
And on that note, we both thought कि बहुत ज़रूरी एक part miss हो गया इस सब में, and that was talking about goal setting and habit tracking.
Yes.
क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ी ड्रीम लाइफ जब तुम ऐसे इमेजिन करते हो उसको छोटे छोटे पार्ट्स में ब्रेक डाउन करना बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. So today we're talking about setting your goals and tracking those habits to achieve that dream life.
Yes. I think this is one of my favorite topics, Isha, because like we were saying, I've been doing this for a while and I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to manifest this, I'm going to wish this and pray for this. You don't just wish for it or manifest it, you have to work for it as well. And I think this is the work that
Yes.
most of us avoid doing. Because if you're not going to sit with yourself and list out exactly what you want from your life, you're not going to get it. Because a lot of people just walk around life. Yeah, you're not going to get it. Because if you want to go buy apples, you have to go to the market and tell yourself, oh, I need red color apples, right? And that's how you're going to go buy apples. A lot of people I see in life just go through the motion of life. And yes, they want to be more rich or beautiful or famous, but they don't know exactly what they want and exactly how do they want it. And this is the work that we all avoid, you know. So I'm really excited to get into this. And
काम तो करना
everybody...
पड़ेगा.
Oi.
You have to put the work in. Manifestation is the easy part of it. Working for it is the tough part. Rose diligently doing it. And I think the best way to do it every day is having not goals but smart goals.
Yeah.
So anybody who's listening to us, जिसको नहीं पता smart goals क्या होते हैं? It's an acronym for smart. S is for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So whatever goal you've had in mind, जो आप अपने लिए achieve करना चाहते हो, whatever you want to do in your life, उसको सिर्फ as a goal एक vague line की तरह मत बोलो. I want to go to the gym. That's like a vague goal. I want to start working out. उसको divide करो. Like you want to start, maybe if it's going to the gym, start saying that this week, at least 4 times, I will go to the gym. So that is like a measurable thing जो आप achieve कर सकते हो. And if it's even time bound, like 40 minutes, I'll spend 40 to 50 minutes in the gym at least. I'll spend time working out. Divide that time. इतना specific होके जब आप अपने लिए goals बनाते हो, तो I think उनको achieve करना, उनको follow through करना भी बहुत easy हो जाता है.
Very true, very true. And because goal का मतलब ये नहीं कि you know, oh, I want, like you said, I want to work out or I want to lose weight,
Yes.
or I want to be famous, I want to be rich, I want to be loved, I want a boyfriend. No, it's not that. Like you also have to know exactly how you're going to, what kind of a thing that you want, right? And that is what SMART goals does. It helps you break down your goal into these categories, you know, and that's how they become much more focused, and you become much more focused in which direction you want to walk in, you know, and yeah, get more clarity.
Definitely.
Well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, बिल्कुल यार. And I think जब से मैंने अपनी लाइफ में स्मार्ट गोल्स बनाने शुरू किए हैं, मैं बहुत ज़्यादा चीज़ें अचीव भी कर पाती हूँ. मैं ये नहीं बोलूँगी मैं सब 100% कर लेती हूँ, but मेरी फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ अचीविंग थिंग्स भी बहुत बढ़ गई है, which is like a good thing in myself. Like वो चीज़ होती है ना, लोग बोलते हैं कि यार मैं अपने आप से किया हुआ प्रॉमिस नहीं रख पाता. I cannot keep the promises I make to myself. I think sometimes smart goals help you keep that promise.
Yeah.
तो मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस है मेरी लाइफ में.
For sure, because when you look at that SMART goal, for example, when you said कि I will go to the gym 4 times a week and I will work out for 15 minutes every time I go. Right? And my goal is to lose maybe 10 kgs in the next 3 months, right? So now you have a very, very specific goal. So what you can do with this goal is you can break it down into further sub goals. So I always have a monthly goal, a weekly goal, And then I have, my 6 months goal and a yearly goals that I have. And in a month, I don't give myself more than, I would say, 2 or 3 goals to achieve, because I think that's enough. I think a lot of people...
उससे ज़्यादा होता भी नहीं.
Yeah, because then it's not realistic, right? Because a lot of people will be like, हाँ मेरे को ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है, मैं podcast start करूँगी, मैं Instagram पे 1000 followers होंगे, मेरे YouTube होएगा, मेरा ये होएगा. And what happens is, you give yourself all these 20 goals, and when they don't happen in the next 3 months, you get discouraged.
Yes.
The truth is that and I learned this actually from Sunira Madani. I love her. She is a top gun, one of the best unicorn founders in the US. And she always says that every quarter, she only has 3 big goals. That's it. Imagine someone like her who has like multi-billion dollar companies. She has 3 goals every quarter. That's it. Because that is a much more realistic way to achieve your goal than to have a million goals, right? So for example, if your goal is to start a podcast, right, in the next 3 months, then what is your monthly goal? Maybe your monthly goal would be, I need to figure out the name of my podcast, I need to figure out to launch the podcast, I need to have 4 episodes planned, like all these things are your monthly goals.
Yeah.
And your weekly goals become something like, I launched my podcast today, I recorded an episode today, I spoke to my friends about it, I started a social media for it. And that's how you kind of break down each goal to see it to success, and it's kind of like reverse engineering.
Daily tasks में भी आप उसे break down कर सकते हो कि आज मुझे एक skill add करनी है. I just have to learn कि Instagram पे reach कैसे grow करता है. I just want to work on that skill. तो वो skill add करना daily में भी उसको break किया जा सकता है, जो मैं करती हूँ. Monthly, weekly, daily. I think एक बहुत बड़े task को जब आप break down भी कर लेते हो, तो वो एक सीढ़ी तुम चढ़ते हो. So it feels very nice. I'm one step closer to the final thing. I know. स्टार्टिंग में when you cannot see like so much results, तो वो थोड़ा सा कई बार discouraging हो जाता है, क्योंकि एक साथ results कभी भी नहीं आते. That is like a fact. जो लोग जिम जाते हैं, जो लोग हमें सुन रहे हैं, उनको पता है ये बात कि जिम एक्चुअली में जिम का रिजल्ट, अगर आप वर्कआउट कर रहे हो तो 1 year, maybe 2 years in, you will start seeing a big huge difference in your body. It's not about a day, it's not about a month, it's not even about 6 months.
100%.
So, अगर आप तो इतनी कंसिस्टेंसी आपको समझनी चाहिए कि when it comes to like big dreams, बहुत बड़ा सपना देख रहे हो, तो फिर छोटे टास्क को उसे पूरा करने का उतना टाइम तो देना पड़ेगा.
Exactly.
वो भी एक चीज है दिमाग में
करने वाला है, and who's going to put in the work, who's going to break it down. You can have the biggest goal. I believe anyone can achieve whatever you want and desire. I truly believe that. Like in all my gut.
Yes.
Doesn't matter your conditioning, doesn't matter the amount of money you have, which family you come from, what friends you have. You can level up your life the way you want to. But do you have what it takes to put in that work? This work that we're talking about today, right, Isha? So yeah. Yes,
definitely. And I think जो हमारा ये episode सुन रहा है सिमरन, these are the people जो अपनी life में थोड़ा सा change लाना चाहते हैं. तभी शायद they've clicked on this episode also. So before we even end this episode, before we move towards that part also, I think आप लोगों के साथ, while you are at it, stop this episode right here and write down one smart goal at least.
Oh yeah.
One goal that you want to achieve for yourself and just write it down today. अपनी आंखों के सामने उस गोल को लिख लो, and I promise you कि once you do that in your head, वो डिफरेंस आपको दिखेगा. दिमाग में अपने आप ट्रिक्स आने लग पड़ेंगे कि इसको ऐड कैसे करना है. So maybe do that first and then we can continue talking.
Okay, do that for a second. Yeah, once you have this goal of yours now, you have your monthly goals, your weekly goals, break them down, do that math for yourself. After that, you have to do, which we all don't like doing, is get rid of your bad habits and start developing good habits, right?
Good habits.
Yeah, that's going to be the next step, your daily habits. You tell me your daily habits and I'll tell you how successful you're going to be. And this is the truth.
Yeah.
Because if your everyday habits are not correct, they're not helping you towards where you want to go, you're not going to be able to achieve it. Because we are literally I would say we are the slaves of our routine, So if your routine is good, then nothing can stop you. If your routine is bad, then you need to know that you're the reason why you're stuck, nothing else, So yeah.
Yeah. हम दोनों की एक book है जिसके बारे में हमने बात की है, Atomic Habits, and there's this line in that book. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems.
Yes.
Just what you said right now.
Exactly.
कि अपने systems, अपने daily routines, अपनी रोज की habits को change करो. It doesn't matter कि goal तुमने क्या रखा है. तुम रोज एक routine follow कर रहे हो, तुम रोज अपनी habits पे work कर रहे हो और अपनी habits का like make a list of things कि यार ये 3 चीजें मैंने करनी ही करनी है रोज, despite the circumstances. Once you start doing that, I think nobody can beat you then. I think वो वाली, and that is relentless. मतलब बहुत सारी दुनिया वेगली चली जा रही है सिमरन, बहुत सारे लोग वेगली चले जा रहे हैं, बट कुछ ही लोग होते हैं जिनको समझ में आ जाता है कि you know there's this thing कि smart work करना चाहिए. Making the system for yourself is also like smart work. आपने अपने लिए वो 3 चीजों का सिस्टम बना लिया है, आप एक्चुअली बहुत स्मार्टली प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो अपने गोल के लिए. आप जस्ट हार्ड वर्क जिसे कहते हैं वो भोज ढोना, वो नहीं कर रहे हो. Like you're not doing the labor work for it, you're actually working smartly around it.
Because even a donkey works hard, right? So it's not always about working hard, it's about working smart. And working in a way which does not overwhelm you and burn you out, but at the same time keeps you on track with where you want to go, right? And your habits, your daily habits, are literally everything. And I know that I can preach all the way, but till I did not improve my daily habits, nothing in my life changed, you know? So, yeah, it really is about that.
Yeah, I think daily प्रोग्रेस, अपनी प्रोग्रेस पे चेक रखना आपकी हैबिट्स के थ्रू, वो भी बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. There's also this one more rule that this book talks about that I really like, the 1% rule, 1% progress rule. Every day अगर आप कुछ भी नहीं कर रहे हो, एटलीस्ट मेक श्योर कि आप अपने लास्ट के दिन से 1% ज़्यादा प्रोग्रेस कर रहे हो. Like that is the only rule that you have to follow. 1% progress every day.
I feel a lot of people don't understand this, that your biggest competition is not your cousin who's in Dubai partying or your friend who's just got married. Your biggest competition is not all those people on Instagram that you are comparing yourself to. Your biggest competition is you. If you do not try and be better by yourself, that's it. You don't have to be the best. You just have to be better every day. And I think in the book itself, there's a very good example of this, where I think the author talks about the marathon, where there was, I am not sure, was it French or British, there was a team of a cyclist basically, and I don't remember which country it was, but it was not a very good team and they were never doing well, and everybody used to be like, oh, okay, whatever, they're going to lose, you know. So nobody really bothered. All the coaches came and they were like, it's fine, you know, they're not going to do well. And one coach decided that no, I'm not going to try and make them the best. He didn't say that nahi ye jeetenge, ye World Cup laenge, like all that crap. No, it was not josh and, you know, enthusiasm. He just came and he's like, you know what, I don't know if they can win or not, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to try and make them 1% better every day. That's all I'm going to do.
Every day.
And every day he used to come to work and find one thing that could change in the team, which would make them better. So one day he found out that, you know, the seats that the cyclists sit in are not that comfortable. Maybe if he changes that. Next day he came and he's like, maybe the diet of the cyclist needs to change. Next day he was like, oh, maybe they need to do this kind of a workout to help them when they're cycling. So every day he would try and find one thing. And believe it or not, 2 years later, the same team went on to become like the international winners. And they won like now they are like top of their game and they're winning every year. And they never went from just motivation. They went from discipline and the need to become better than themselves than they were before.
Exactly. Consistency, रोज करना, नहीं मन है तो भी करना, करते ही जाना बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल होता है.
Exactly.
और जो लोग ये अचीव कर लेते हैं, जो लोग ये सीख लेते हैं सिमरन, वही लोग बहुत डिफरेंट मार्क क्रिएट करते हैं. मुझे अपने बारे में बहुत सारी चीज़ें रियलाइज होती हैं कई बार. मतलब sometimes even looking at myself, मुझे पहले लगता था I cannot be consistent with, you know, workout and everything. But पिछले कुछ टाइम से going to the gym, like वो एक जो first 30 seconds का अभी भी दिमाग में आता है कि I can skip the gym that day. But then there is this one thing in my back of the head कि नहीं यार, जाना ही जाना है. There is no excuse. And if you've missed one day, it's okay. अगर वो circumstance बहुत ज़्यादा, like अगर तुम नहीं manage कर पा रहे हो, it's okay. But then next day when you go back into the routine. वरना ये बहुत easy है कि तुम वो रूटीन अगर चेक नहीं करोगे ना, तो 2 हफ्ते हो जाएंगे और तुम लास्ट सेशन लास्ट वीक था मेरा जिम का, ऐसा कैसे हो गया मेरे साथ. ऑल्दो यू कीप थिंकिंग कि आई एम, यू नो, कंसिस्टेंट विद वर्कआउट. सो इट्स वेरी इजी कि तुम वो ट्रैक लूज कर दो अपना.
So
ऑन दैट नोट
easy.
एग्जैक्टली. एक और चीज मेरे दिमाग में है जो मेरे को गोल्स के रिलेटेड ना और हैबिट्स के रिलेटेड बहुत अपने बारे में फील हुई है. किसी दिन सिमरन मैं कुछ हैबिट्स ऐड करती हूँ. सबसे पहले तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैं पहले 20 हैबिट्स साथ में ऐड कर लेती थी कि मुझे मेरे अंदर ये चीज़ें चेंज करनी है, और वो तो मुझसे कभी अचीव ही नहीं हुई. Like we were talking कि you know make them shorter, make them like 1 or 2 पे focus करो. So now I started कि next 3 months के लिए 1 या 2 चीज़ें ऐड करेंगे, और वो 1 या 2 चीज़ें जब तक मेरे सिस्टम में ingrained नहीं हो जाती तब तक हम नई चीज़ ऐड नहीं करेंगे, whatever it may be.
That's lovely. I think that's the best way to develop a new habit or get rid of an old habit, is just tracking them out and focusing on maybe 2, 3, 4 at a time. Don't focus on like 20, 30 habits. And if you need, like, actually I have a free tracker as well in somewhere in the link in my bio on my Instagram page. But what you can do is just comment here or comment on our Instagram or send us a DM saying tracker, and we'll send it to you. It's a free tracker, it's a free habit tracker, and all that tracker does is every day you need to write like maybe 4 or 5 habits that you want to develop, and then track them. And you have to tick it off every time you do them on a daily basis. And I also like to do like a monthly check-in कि एक महीने के बाद I go back and actually check कि मैंने कितना out of those 30 days, how many days did I actually stick to this
Actually
habit,
did it.
you know? And sometimes it surprises you in a bad way and you're like, oh shit, I should have done that more. But that is also like the kick you need sometimes to, you know, get back on track or, you know, wake yourself up. So I think it's all about that, like, you know. So yeah, I think that's a good thing.
Oh, all about that, definitely. Okay, Simran, I think there's one more thing that I wanted to, you know, talk about in this episode. Your non-negotiables. So हम habits की बात कर रहे हैं ना. So there are days when you cannot do anything. आपकी productivity बहुत low है, you're not feeling well, or whatever it may be. On those days, I think 1 or 2 things you can add in your life. Even if it's not the 1% progress that day, but it's the consistency part. उसके लिए to keep yourself consistent, to keep yourself accountable, और किसी को जानने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Like it could be just meditating. कि आज के दिन में if I'm not doing anything, but at least I'm meditating, because I've decided कि मेरी ज़िंदगी में meditation कितनी important है. So that could be like your non-negotiable. And we want to call those words non-negotiable because they are not negotiable. तुम नहीं उनको छोड़ने वाले किसी भी reason की वजह से. तुम्हारे घर में शादी है, तुम्हें किसी function पे जाना है, तुम्हारी best friend का birthday है, पर 15 मिनट निकालना अपने लिए मुश्किल नहीं है. So like that level of 1 or 2 good habits, whatever it may be. किसी के लिए वो affirmations करना हो सकता है, किसी के लिए journaling हो सकता है. Just find your groove in those habits and then make them your non-negotiables.
Yeah, I agree, because like I always say it when people come to me and they're like, oh my god, Sim, but it's so hard to stick to routine, you know, like, oh, you know, it's so difficult, where to find the time, I have a job, I have this, I have that, I have children, I have, you know, all these things. And I'm like, did you wake up today morning and brush your teeth? And everyone obviously says yes most of the time. If you never forget to brush your teeth and you never forget to have a shower, at least brush your teeth. Like I know everybody brushes their teeth most of the times in the morning. So why is it that nobody has to tell you कि नहीं, even if you have your बच्चे का exam है या तेरा खुद का exam है या if you're going somewhere, you still have to brush your teeth. Nobody has to tell you that, right? You do it because it's a non-negotiable in your head. Because since you were like a baby, somebody has said when you wake up in the morning, you have to brush your teeth. So it's the same thing with your non-negotiables. They're called non-negotiables because no matter what happens in your life, you have to do that. And that is what keeps you anchored, you know, through. And it just needs to be 2 or 3 things. I have 2 things that I do, or 3 things I would say. One, I was meditation, because every day I meditate for 10 minutes. I'm a chronic overthinker. If I don't do it, then I'm gonna have a bad day, and I know it. So that's one thing. Second is my coffee. If I don't have coffee every day, I will probably kill somebody.
Oh, yes.
So that's my second non-negotiable. And my third one is, I would say, I don't know actually. I think these are my top 2. The third one probably keeps coming and going. So yeah. Do you have any non-negotiables as well, Isha?
Yeah, I think for me also, gym, workout. So if I don't go for a workout, I'll make sure I go for a walk that day. Or like the steps I do that day are like a lot more in number than I usually do. So just some way I'm working out every day because that keeps me very sane. And I think sometimes it's a spiritual practice in some sense. Maybe meditating, I even believe in, you know, mantra chanting a lot. So if I'm not able to do anything, I'll just sit and do mantra chanting for 5 minutes. So that is something I've added into my life, but that's like a non-negotiable. वो करना ही करना है. बहुत सारी चीजें साथ में चल रही हैं, but वो करना ही करना है. बाकी सब तो आता जाता रहता है, like you said, change होता रहता है, phases of life में अलग-अलग चीजें बनती रहती हैं non negotiable.
For sure.
But ये actually होने चाहिए और सबको ये बनाने चाहिए.
Yeah, I think like this episode has been very nice because we've shared what we do, what we don't do, things which work with us or doesn't work with us, or stuff like that. I think anybody who's listening in, if you want like even further support and guidance, please do refer to this book called The Atomic Habits by James Clear. Yes, it is both Isha and mine, one of our favorites, and a book that I know we both go back to, right, Isha? I love this book because
Definitely. I go back to this book a lot. Yes. इस book के chapters, हर chapter में something different you will find, and even the book is like divided into segments that are very good in understanding how you build a habit in your life.
Yeah.
So the read is also very nice. So I love.
And I like the no bullshit approach that he has. It's not like all like, ooh, yes, have a dream, achieve it. It's not all of. No, it's not just that. It is basically like, okay, what is the work you need to do, and how do you need to go about actually getting those goals? And that's why I really like it, because it's all about becoming better with your daily systems, which makes you a better version of yourself, So yeah, for sure, 100% recommend and check it out. Yeah, and we do not get any affiliation for it, but yeah, we just would love to recommend it.
No, definitely. And I don't like not even the recognition part, but the fact कि अगर आप इस journey पर हो, you want to improve your life, this can be like a guide along the way. बहुत अच्छी guide act कर सकती है आपके लिए. So you can definitely pick this book while you're on this journey. Wow, I think Simran, last few episodes में हमने बहुत कुछ cover किया है about building that dream life, and we finally culminated it together and broken it down to the very core कि daily क्या करना चाहिए. So I really like this small series kind of a thing that we created actually to everybody who's listening to us. And I hope you guys enjoyed listening about this, and I hope you add this in your life. नया साल आने वाला है, 2025 is here. Add these small things in your life, make that big change, and achieve everything you desire in your heart. On that note, I think we are at the end of the episode.
Yes, so thank you everybody who joined in, and keep listening to us. Next episode will be out soon, so yeah, listen up.
Listen up.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Listen Up with Simran and Isha. Hope you enjoyed the conversation, and make sure to like and subscribe for more. Until next time, stay tuned and listen up.